grit, discipline, pushing hard, pressing through. That was my definition of resilience. For many in the world, this is a definition of resilience that they live by. I believed I had to be miserable on the way to attaining happiness and success. During my career as a track athlete, having the traditional approach of resilience served me well. I was able to press through the pain that I often had. I pushed through and pressed through the fear and the pain that I constantly felt, and somehow I was able to use grit and become a 2-time All-American who was ranked 8th in the world as a 21-year-old. But as I transitioned into becoming a business leader, this type of resilience just didn't work for me anymore. I started my first PT practice in 2008, right before the market crashed. I remember a lot of my mentors were wanting me to hold off as it was too risky of a time, but I felt the fear. I went with my gut and I jumped in. I did all the things I knew as a high performer to do. I used grit to press through the challenges that were naturally coming with a new business. I tried to press through the fear when money was scarce and cash flow was not flowing. I tried to just be disciplined in doing all the things I knew as a high performer to do. After doing this for a long time, all it was doing was making me disassociate from my body and experience constant anxiety, fear, and depression. I remember trying to make this work for a really, really long time and coming home one day, sitting on my bedroom floor, eating Chipotle. I found myself so defeated, so angry. I had taken out a $40K loan to buy myself time, and the funds were depleted. I had family, friends, and colleagues telling me that I was being stupid and foolish, and I was beginning to believe them. I began to question, could I really do this? Was this the right decision? And as I sat there and thought about the next thing that I could do, all the emotions that were bottled up inside of me, I decided instead to listen. I decided to feel all the tension that the emotions in my body that I was suppressing, that were keeping me on the road of persevering. And I had this gut instinct to settle, relax, to do something fun. And as simple as that may sound, it was life-changing for me. I started to delve into research on the mind and the body and the nervous system. And ultimately, I started to find new ways to have my body work for me and not against me. I finally got it. Resilience is not forced ambition, but allowed recognition. And this way of moving, of functioning, of leading, not only helped me persevere, but build a 6-figure PT practice by the end of the first year, while other businesses were closing and failing, especially in my industry. And now today, I'm here to share this new idea of a healthier way to persevere, where humans and leaders that have a mission and purpose in this life can exceed and have sustained high levels of success without sacrificing their health, their peace, or their emotional stability. We can do this through 3 keys to a healthier way to persevere. Number 1, get used to a calm state versus a survival state. We have 2 polarizing systems to the nervous system: the parasympathetic system, which is our calm state, and the sympathetic system, which is our survival state. It is common for many people to be in a survival state majority of the day, but it's not healthy to stay there constantly. Our body wants to have fun. It wants to feel peace. It wants to feel calm. It desires to be in this space, and it does extra things in this space. Research shows that when we are in a calm state, we make better decisions, we come up with better solutions, we are better communicators, and we absolutely are healthier with more energy because our body systems optimally run in this state. So when I thought about this, I thought about my colleague who lived in the Northeast, and I took a course from her. And I remember thinking to myself, she was such an amazing practitioner. She was very successful. She had a bigger practice than mine. She was seeing tougher clients and definitely dealing with tougher challenges than me. And many people in the same situation would be overwhelmed with this type of work, yet she was having this calm, peaceful serenity about her. I was just mesmerized. There was this whole new level of being successful embedded in a calm state that I was missing. But I believed I could have it too. And so can you. So can you. During challenging seasons in your life, or when you're feeling certain areas of your life that are more challenging, you can start by changing your relationship to adversity and go about resilience in a different way by choosing to do something fun. And this will start to create a scenario where you will be like my colleague who inspired me. You will be calmer during the adversity. So during a day that you're feeling all the stressors, instead of approaching it with unhealthy resilience, you're going to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Pause and listen, allowing intuition to come through. What feels fun or joyful to do? This could be dancing. This could be playing an instrument. This could be painting or running. And the key is to respond immediately. This accelerates the rewire to establish a new norm of a calm state versus a survival state. And what I have found is my intuition continues to increase its presence in this calm state, giving me other ideas and actions that are aligned and feel good and right for me, creating greater health, wealth, and a better life from this space. I had trained my mind and body to be in a calm state, not suppressing, not contracting, but actually breathing, having fun. But as challenges started increasing, I felt myself wanting to go back to the old way of resilience. And that's when I knew I needed number 2. Expand your capacity and capability to handle adversity. One of my favorite racing memories was of a 4x400 meter relay race where we looked like we were going to win easily to barely holding on to second as we had lost the first leg to an injury. We had trained physically and mentally for situations like this. So when I pulled my team aside and challenged each of them to have the race of their life, to get me close enough as the anchor leg to be able to overtake the opponent, I knew they were ready. I knew they were ready. As I watched proudly one member, then the second member, then the third member take that baton and circle the track, and yes, have the race of their life. As I reached back for the baton anxiously, still 40 meters behind, I knew I had no choice but to respond and have the race of my life. As you navigate your goals and grow to the next level of you, you're going to face new problems, greater challenges. Instead of utilizing an unhealthy resilience of waiting for the problem to be there at that moment, you're going to prepare yourself for when it does happen. The nervous system, the ultimate influencer of the mind and body, has a natural expansion and contraction rhythm to its state. When you give your body challenges in different areas of hard, physical, mental, and in different environments, pre-adversity, you expand the nervous system in optimally all body systems to work for you and not against you during challenging times. It's now able to take on more challenges and keep trucking along in your lane toward your goal and achieve success. So, during a day that you're ready to challenge yourself in something, I want you to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and pause and listen for the intuitive answer to come. What feels like a good challenge to you, that feels good to you? It could be initiating something different, like in a different direction home from work. It can be applying something hard, like taking a cold shower. It's increasing its capacity and capability, and now seeing challenges as something normal, an opportunity to win. An opportunity to win. As you go through life and you look at now that you've gotten, number one, the ability to shift your state. Number two, you've now learned how to expand the capacity and capability to handle adversity. You must now finally, number three, know what to do when the pressure is on, like right now. All of us are going to experience times in our life when we are feeling underwater in one or several areas of our life, where we are experiencing deep, constant adversity. It is actually at this time where you can accelerate your success and be in a healthy resilience doing it. During a heightened adversarial state, our body is in constant survival mode. But it can't stay there 24/7. It doesn't have enough energy to do so. Therefore, it must find a way to reset itself to allow the body and mind to continue to function. This often shows up as a yawn, a stretch, or a sigh. It is in this moment, that last seconds, where your parasympathetic state, your calm state, can re-engage and create an opportunity to see something different, an opportunity to move out of its current situation. I remember with my PT practice I started in 2008, I had learned to be in a calm state, utilize tools to stay there with my daily stressors. I had learned to increase and expand the capacity of my body to get ready for future challenges. But when my back was against the wall, I knew I had to rely on this very point. I remember when my bank account dwindled at times early in my business. There was 1 week in particular where I was making payroll for my employees. I literally had $100 in my account. I was experiencing high levels of stress. I could just feel myself contracting, pulling in with all the emotions that I was suppressing. And that's when I decided to, guess what? Yawn, pause, and listen. What did my body say that was a good thing to do for a solution right now that I needed? And guess what happened? Instead of holding on to that $100, I gave that $100 to my favorite charity. I blew the lid off my mind-body. I short-circuited the survival state. It had no other choice but to respond. And it also got a bite of something better than being in a survival state. And it started drawing in and creating other opportunities, other resets, other yawns. Instead of contracting into an unhealthy resilience, I capitalized on the resets with more yawns and more resets and engaged my creative zone of my brain, the decision-making zones of my brain where brilliant solutions lie. So when you are in the depths of adversity, you're going to stretch, yawn, or sigh, and pause and listen. This process, once again, is going to shift you from an unhealthy to a healthy state of resilience that works for you and not against you during challenging times. To attain happiness and success during all the challenges that will naturally come towards success, we have to understand how to persevere in a healthy way. This will require you to get into a calm state, expand your capacity and capability to handle adversity. And number 3, know what to do when the pressure is on. Just imagine if business leaders that are dealing with financial stressors actually went about it in this way. Imagine in senior executive leaders who often feel like they're helping everyone else but don't have space to help themselves. Imagine if they did it in a healthy way. Imagine if our athletes started to feel their body instead of suppressing emotion and beating their body into submission. Imagine. Your body wants to play this game called life with you, and it desires to do it in a healthy state of resilience. It is time for you to understand resilience is not forced ambition, but a loud recognition. Your body is so very brilliant. Let it now be brilliant for you. Thank you.